Hey, how's it going? Welcome to another video. Today I am showing you how I edit my film scans. Now I get my film scanned at high resolution in a TIFF file and I have it as a flat profile. So it gives me full range on my photos and so I can edit them and have them the way that I want to. But today, after I do my edits on 5 photos, I'm going to show you the JPEG files as they're scanned. So as they're scanned normally, and we're going to compare whether it is better to scan your own film at a flat profile and edit the photos yourself, or just let the scanner do its job and you just fix up the little details. So I have 5 photos here. So I did shoot this at the Newcastle breakwall and I shot it on the Canon AE1 with a 28mm f2.8 on Kodak 800 film. Not Portra, the 800 film that you find in disposable cameras. Yes, you heard that right, disposable cameras. So I'm going to take you through how I would edit these photos usually, and then we're going to compare. Now I haven't done any rearranging of the photos. That should help you believe that I haven't cheated. I know it's hard to believe that I haven't cheated to look at the JPEG files, but I promise you I haven't. So first things first, we will adjust all the photos to be the correct orientation. First things first, I always bring down the shadows and bump up the highlights a little bit to give a bit of contrast. And I like to just play around and see what is best fit. And this one I don't have to do too much to, but sometimes I do like to make my yellows a bit orange just to really emphasize on the sunset. And that one is pretty much done. I don't need to do too much to it, so I'll show you before, after. Really nothing we need to do for that one. Now we'll come to this one. Now I could just easily do a copy and paste and just pray for the best. And yes, the photo does come out fine, but for the sake of this video, I'm going to go through every single photo. So we're going to crop in, get rid of the little fence, and center my fiance up. And now crush the blacks and bump up the highlights once again. And crush the shadows. Don't go crazy with the highlights, add a bit of contrast. Bang! So, have 4 after. Easy. Easy money. Nice little landscape. Luckily the waves were going crazy to give me some good photos of the waves. So I can't complain. Again, we can do this. Now I don't like to go crazy with my film edits because obviously film is not meant to be edited, but when you have the tools just to fix up and do the edits the way that you want to without having the scanner do it all, it works fine. So add a bit more contrast to this guy. I'm gonna add a bit more of a blue to it, and then we'll make the rocks here a bit warm just to give it that difference. Beautiful. Maybe add a bit of vibrance. So we have before, after. Now these two are going to be as it's past its golden hour and getting to basically nighttime. So these ones will be interesting to play with, but usually for these ones I like to make them as dark as possible and then bring those highlights back up just a tad. Now I have to say I don't like the light that gives off a green, so yellow. Or we can easily get rid of it and make it kind of white. Yeah. It makes it hard with these ones because you can't really tell what's going to be good for the photo and what's going to make it better or worse. I'm just going to check this here. Nothing's wrong with it. Could have exposed it a little bit better, but that is okay. So there we have it. That's before. And that's after. Final photo. Walking into the sunset. And again, probably going to crush those blacks and bring up the highlights a little bit. Now I do like this blue here, so I am going to give it a bit more saturation in it. And again, I like to make my yellows a bit more orange. Now I'm just going to go back through these ones because I do like to get rid of the contrast only a little bit. And boom, done. That is all I do. I don't do anything crazy with my film edits. I just give it a bit of contrast to it. I don't like to add too much. And then change the colors a little bit. Obviously this one had to be because it's green. So I've done that, and then yeah, it's a bit different when it works with your daylight photos. So with the sunset, you're obviously going to do a little bit more to it to make it a bit perfect for you, but yeah, there's not much I really had to do with these photos. So now what we're going to do is we're going to add in the JPEG photos, and I'm going to do my little bit of edits that I do with them, because the scanner will obviously give you all the contrast and as much exposure to be a good photo, and then I'll just fix up the little details. Here is the JPEG scans. So for this, I don't need to do too much to them. I do like to add a little bit more warmth into them, and then I just like to play with the sliders however I see fit best for the photo. Again, make my yellows more orange. And that's it. Fix up these. Sorry, I should show you the before and after the other one. So that's before, that's after. You know, it's only just the warmth really. Bump up the highlights a little bit. Add a bit more orange to the photos. Now I can already see a difference here with these JPEG files, and I have to say honestly I am starting to prefer the JPEGs a little bit better. So yeah, come over here, that's before, that's after. It's just making it a little bit darker than it needs to. Like I don't need all that colour in there. Now for this one I do like the bit of colour in it, so I will obviously make them a bit more orange, make the sky a bit more blue, turn in the exposure just a little bit. Bang. Before, after. Now this one, obviously this one's going to have a bit of work to it because I'm not sure how we're going to be able to do this, but first things first, get rid of the green and make it a bit more brighter. The yellow more orange. It's going to be my saying now, make the yellow more orange. And just play with the sliders just a little bit. There's nothing I can really do much with this photo. So before, after. Maybe I just need to shoot better. Alright, and this guy, crop it just a little bit, fix up the angle. This one I don't even need to do too much too. So this one, I probably don't need to do anything with this one. Probably just close down the shadows a little bit and make the yellow a bit more orange. And make the sky a bit more blue. And that's probably about it. So yeah, before, after. Actually, I kind of prefer with that road coming back in, so maybe I will add that road back in a little bit there. So there we have it. This is your JPEG files. So it's your first photo, second photo, third photo, fourth photo, and the fifth photo. What we'll do now is we'll now go back and forth between the TIFFs and the JPEGs and see which ones I prefer, whether you need to edit the photos or whether the JPEGs will be fine out of the scanner. So this right here, this is the JPEG and this is the TIFF. Now I can already see there is a bit of kind of stretching, I guess, of the frame a little bit, I guess depending on how you scan it. But yeah, this one adds a lot more contrast to it and is a little bit more on the green side. So if I did edit the way that the scanner did, you could easily just turn that to green, move that to the blue side, and then I would think that it's just adding a bit more contrast to it, in a way. Kinda. I mean, you could just add the warmth back a little bit, but yeah. I actually prefer that a little bit better now. But yeah, you can manipulate the TIFFs to how you'd like, but I mean, the scan of the JPEG is actually pretty good as well. Now I'll come to the next photo. This is the JPEG. This is the TIFF. Now obviously I have cropped in a little bit, but I don't know. I think the JPEGs might have an upper hand on this one. Like, I don't know, it's just, I love that. This, I don't know. I get the dynamic range and like you can see what film captures, but I think having that extra bit makes it better. Yeah, I don't know. I think I'm starting to like the JPEGs more. This is the JPEG, this is the TIFF, yeah. I think you're seeing here live that I definitely prefer the JPEGs over the TIFFs. Now for this one, I do prefer the TIFFs because I have crushed the blacks. I mean, you can do that with this and give it a bit more. I definitely prefer the TIFFs more. So that's the JPEG, that's the TIFF. The final one, this is the JPEG, this is the TIFF. Now I think I'm just used to the way photos are, and don't have to have them also blown out, but I think the purpose of film is to kind of give off that blown out look, and that's what film is best known for. I don't know, what do you guys prefer? Do you guys prefer the JPEGs? Do you prefer the TIFFs? Because I think coming into this now, I didn't think that I'd like the JPEGs, but you know, I think the JPEGs do take the upper hand in some cases. Maybe I'm just terrible at editing and I should just let the scanner do it, but yeah, I don't know. It's just something about them. That is all. That is how I edit my photos, and that is how a scanner edits my photos, and I just fix up the little details. Do you think the question has answered itself, that you shouldn't edit your film scans, you should just let the scanner do it and you can fix up the details thanks to Lightroom? Or because of the TIFF files and how much dynamic range that you get with it, you should be able to edit your film scans the way that you would with digital? Let me know. But in other film news, because I have been shooting on the Canon A1 for so long and shooting on this 28mm, which I recently picked up, I have been starting to neglect another film camera. So that is why I am selling the QL17, my rangefinder camera that I used to take around a lot. I love this camera because it was something I could easily take around and shoot a lot of film with, but because I have been loving my 28mm and this just hasn't been used. So I would like it to go to someone who is going to use it. So if you would like to purchase this Canon QL17, it's in great condition, have had no issues with it. I did get it serviced a while back just to fix the actual viewfinder glass, but other than that, everything is working fine. Reach out to me via Instagram, and we can work out a deal and let this camera go to better uses, and let someone who loves film photography or wants to get into it use a decent camera to let you get started. You don't need to worry about lenses, you don't need to worry about much film. I think this only goes up to 800, so you should be fine to just kind of get started with your 200 and 400 ISO film. So thank you all for watching. Let me know what you think about the film scans. Let me know what you think about this video. If you like it, give it a like. If you don't, dislike it. Do whatever you feel for this video. If you want to follow along with my journey and how I go with editing and filmmaking and photography and getting more into it and getting into more of this channel, hit the subscribe button, or don't. Just keep watching. And yeah, I will see you all in the next video. Bye for now.